Welcome to the Nancy Perspective, where every story is a reminder that life's hardest battles often belong to the kindest hearts. Okay, well, we are back for episode 2 with the incredible Ghada. I think this last half an hour has been pretty empowering for me because I knew that as we chatted, you would pull and unravel a little.
Yeah.
And it's clear to me why my podcasts resonate with you and why my reels do, because there's a lot more similarities
Yeah.
in you and I than difference. So
Yeah.
super grateful that you sit with me today.
Thank you. It's my
We
pleasure.
ended our discussion about energy.
Yeah.
But over the break that we had, we also talked about something that I want to bring light to because I think it's really important because we've all flown through certain aspects of this in our lives. So how we're raised is who we become.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked about your life a little bit different than mine. So you had a more strict family.
Mhm.
I had a different family, but my family kind of fluctuated in the energy
Yeah.
of what it was. So we were happy and joyful, and then we had other experiences as well. And like you, I am what they call an empath.
Mm.
And I can sense things and observe things and flow through things. And because I'm quiet doesn't mean I'm quiet. It means I'm taken in.
I'm observing, I would say.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
think that ability, as I've flown through this and learned more about it and worked with some psychologists who sit and say, oh, that's interesting that you're saying that. They treat it as a blessing and as a curse.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you see it the same way,
Mm-hmm.
but yet you found a different way to empower it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how you've done that. We talked a little on the break about the fact that you do take others' energy on.
Yeah.
But how have you found this? How have you used that curse as a blessing as well?
Well, at the beginning of my life in the early 20s and 30s, it was super consuming. I would sit with a group of friends or relatives, and I just leave that outing 100% drained. It's like I don't have energy. If a close friend of mine is having a problem or a situation in her life, that's gonna be me. It's like I'm gonna be suffering it. I'll be carrying that burden with me till that's resolved, or that's she
You
feels
take it on.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it has been taking a toll in my mental
Of course
health,
it is.
in my
Yeah.
everything, in my life and everything. And till I figured out it's energy. It's like I need to be very selective. I need to protect my energy. I need to be aware of my surroundings. The strict upbringing made me more of a quiet person, which is a blessing because
Of course it is.
I observe. I take it all in. I understand the energy of any room that I walk in.
Yeah.
I would know your intentions,
Of course.
and I will actually know what is your next step before you do it.
Yes.
And that's a superpower.
It is a superpower, and it's underestimated
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I've had a different experience, but again, because I am like you, but
Yeah.
more of I'm a little bit of you and Bassem,
Yeah.
right? I've got
Mm.
that extroversion and I've also got
Yep.
that quiet ability to just sit back and just people look at me and think that I don't really know much. And it's quite fascinating when I prove them wrong.
Just let them.
I just let them. The word is let them because
It's you take the upper hand in that. It's like I honestly sometimes I just enjoy it. It's like
me too. I just sit with them
the
and allow them to be.
underestimating
Yeah.
thing about people when they underestimate you, and because you're not talking enough, or you're not talking at all, or in situations that you don't need to talk much.
No.
It's like if I'm doing the action, then it's like it's done.
There's a powerful force in being beautiful, strong, and just sitting back.
Yeah.
right? For a long time, I said a lot of things. I needed to speak.
Yeah.
And as I really quieted that and just sat and listened,
Mhm.
it is much more powerful what you can sense,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And it allows you to have a different path forward, right?
Mhm.
I believe in what you've shared with us, that your energy, following the energy and intuition, has been your superpower of why you are here today.
Yeah.
Uh, when you said in the last episode, I've had a lot of experiences or crazy things about energy, I want to dive into that a little bit. I want you to tell me what that means. Tell me why you say that with a laugh and a giggle and say, "Oh, I don't know," because I'm going to tell you, I probably have had similar experiences.
Well, everyone is gonna think I'm crazy.
I think crazy is a great word. I think weird's even better.
Um, so I honestly believe in energy, and
Yeah.
it's like I honestly believe if you think of something and good and you throw it out in the universe, it will
Come back.
rotate and come back to
I
you.
wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, so the first time I experienced my energy was uh, right after my mom died.
Okay.
Um, and after 3 months, till then 3 months later, I she died on the 30th of May, and I was able to travel back to Egypt in June or July or
Okay.
something. During those months, I was rage.
Yeah.
Not I. That's right. I was not grieving. I was not doing as just like
You were just really angry.
yes.
Yep.
So I travel back home. The situation in the house because my dad and my brother who died later a year after from COVID was not the greatest.
Yeah.
A lot of negative energy, a lot of bad things going.
Probably a
Here and
lot
there.
of rage too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it fueled my rage
Yeah.
more.
Of course it did.
So while I was leaving, okay, I left to the airport. I was feeling that rage. I was taking it with me. I was like why there was a lot
Yep.
of questions. Why did that happen? Why mom's like she was a really good person, like and I was not questioning God. I was
I know.
more of questioning the situation that
I
it's like it's crazy thing. So I was sitting, mind you, it was in the COVID, and it was actually in the at the airport. It's like it was like two aeroplanes traveling, and one of them is like half people
Empty.
traveling because like
It was just empty.
it was
Yeah.
mid of 2020.
Okay.
Crazy.
No. Wow.
Yes, I had to pay extra just to get in that. It was Egypt dedicated one aeroplane to get the stuck people from Canada. So I got into it.
Wow.
So it's like,
Yeah.
mind you that. So I flew from Cairo to London,
Yeah.
and London airport looked like a desert.
I can't imagine because I've been there and yeah.
Everything is
Feeling.
closed.
Yeah.
Nothing there. It's like it was like a graveyard. It's like
Yeah.
no one was there.
Wow.
And while I was sitting there, I was reading something on my phone. I'm thinking nonstop of my mom, and the rage was like eating me
Yep.
alive. And it's like I felt like this is not good. And all of a sudden, there's this bird,
Yeah.
the kind that mom really loves, was bouncing in the Heathrow airport, the covered Heathrow airport.
Wow.
Was bouncing on the floor, looking at me, and then it bounces on my leg
Yeah.
and stab the side.
Wow.
It's like
Wow.
and I honestly I could not believe myself, and I looked at it, it's like I looked around, it's like if anyone seeing that? It's like and we just sat there for half an hour, just quietly looking at me, and then bounced back at my leg, and then it flew. So I knew that
Knew something.
I had it in my mind. I was like, that was weird.
Yeah.
So I landed in Halifax. That night I slept, and the next day I woke up to find a text from one of my friends, 10 years ago, she was living here in Halifax, and she moved to Texas.
Okay.
And she was texting me. Her Facebook page was Z name. Okay,
Yep.
it was Z. So she texted me that I had the weirdest dream about you and your mom. She was flying. She was happy. She was all over the place. I haven't seen her, but she was so happy, and she just wanted me to deliver. My friend, she's a Canadian. She wants me to deliver to you a message that she's very, very happy, and the energy that I got from her is like floating and flying. And I
Wow.
looked at the message and was like, and then I remembered my friend name is Zainab, and my mom's name is Zainab.
Wow. How do you explain?
See the connection?
How do you explain any of it?
My friend never saw my mom, never know her name, and vice versa.
I just got shivers down my entire body.
So
Wow.
yeah, that was the first time I experienced energy big time. It hit me and was like,
Yeah.
she's sending me a message. She's just
Oh,
she's
all the
asking me,
time.
let the grief, start grieving,
Yeah. Let it go.
let
Yeah.
it go. It's
Yeah.
like I'm happy.
Those are magical moments. So you're not crazy. I experience those a lot. I have very similar moments I can't explain.
Yeah,
And I'm grateful that I'm open to them
yeah,
because the word is open, right? You could have taken that day and left it behind.
yeah. I not anymore.
Yeah, but you don't anymore.
No,
Do you have more of them now?
a lot.
A lot.
The minute you see it, you cannot unsee it.
No. You just, there's this,
It's there.
it's there.
If you start seeing it,
Yeah.
you will not unsee it.
So I'm doing a lot of work with Joe Dispenza right now. I don't know if you know his name at all, but he is a big believer in the quantum field. So he's a man that has ended up injured in a bike accident and healed himself through meditation by using the quantum field of the energy of what we don't know.
Okay.
And then today he empowers people with retreats and courses to heal their bodies through meditation and this belief in the fact that there is way more out there. Okay. And he believes that when we're open and when we flow from love, that those moments are all around us.
Yes.
And those are meant to be for us and meant to be magnetized. Because if we're in the present moment, we see them. Because if you were on your phone that day, that bird might not have stopped.
Exactly.
And that's what I find for myself, and what the world needs more of today is being present and open. Right? Because if we were more present and open, we would look at each other. We would talk in coffee shops. So I will tell you, 2 weeks ago, I went through an experience of energy healing, and I came out, and the next day I wasn't feeling the greatest. And the words were like, oh, I might be coming down with something. And I wrote the energy lady that I did the work with. And she said, what if you're not coming down with something? What if you're just releasing? What if you just need to go hang out in the woods? And I said, okay. So I went across the street.
Hug a tree.
Yeah. I went across the street and I put my hands on a tree and I stood there and I closed my eyes and I started taking deep breaths and I heard this sound. And I opened my eyes, and I live in Bedford and the woods is very little. And 10 deer, 8 deer, I got to get this right.
No.
Were walking in front of me in a herd, 8 deer. And I saw it and I watched them walk by. And then I went in the woods to try and find them and I couldn't find them. But when I stood there, I was holding that tree. I was actually hugging the tree. And the birds were coming above me, looking at me. And in that moment, I was like, how can you discern any of that? But if I didn't do it and didn't take the time,
You wouldn't see it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'll tell you something from the photography perspective.
Yeah.
It's like some moments that you cannot catch through photos. You need to look, no matter how powerful your camera is.
I agree.
It will not catch the moment.
The moment.
So sometimes, so what I found that really, really calms me down right now and grounds me is simple pleasures, which is sunrise and
Yeah.
sunsets.
Isn't that amazing?
It-
Joy.
It's just, yeah, something else.
Yeah.
So most of those you can capture through your phone.
No.
You can video.
Yeah.
You can do your best, but it's not the same.
And I feel like, I don't know about you, but and especially being in the industry that you are, you always want to take that camera.
Yeah, it's like the urge of taking pictures.
But in this last year, I've not taken I've gotten less and less photos, which is disappointing because it means that I can't look back on the moments. But I will tell you that I've been so present.
I'm just gonna show you my
Wow.
live in the moment.
And I think that's what I've been doing more and more, like at cheer competitions when I'm watching my kids and they're like, turn on the video. And I can't. I don't want to. I want to be in that moment.
Yeah.
And I think our world is really missing
Yeah,
that right
that's
now.
absolutely.
Right? If we could do that a little bit differently, we could start to see the shift.
Social media and phones and I would say all media, all kind of media, just screw us big time.
It is. And yet this is what you do. But it's amazing how you say that because it is very true. There's a balance in it.
You have a certain point is like you have to pay attention.
You do. Yeah. You show up as a very balanced human. You might fake that. Well, no, I know you are because I can sense it and feel it. So if we were to bring light to a few key things that you do, so you said sunlight, you love watching the sunset and the sun come up.
Yeah.
What are the key elements that you bring into your day to ensure that you are full?
So it took me a lot to understand myself and what grounds me.
Yeah, it's a daily thing for me too.
It's honestly
I know.
and it's an ongoing search.
It
of
is every
what-
day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What really brings light? It's your light. It's your life. It's your spirit. And one of which is like by far is nature. Like
Me too.
sunsets,
Yeah.
sunrise.
Yeah.
Just a simple drink of coffee in the morning is a blessing that is it's
Me too.
goes
Me too. That first sip in the morning.
yeah. It's like either it's coffee, tea, or even water. The ability that you can get out of your beds.
Yeah.
Healthy enough to get out of your bed and you have a house that you have energy to get something going like a coffee or a tea and to sit warm in your house looking out of your window feeling safe enough to enjoy that moment is a blessing.
I bet you've had moments where you have not felt that, which is probably why.
Yes. You know, when I started knowing that this is a blessing. 10 years ago, I had a major, or actually more, 12 or something. I had a major surgery. And after the fact, they asked me not to move for 6 weeks, not to climb stairs or do anything. So I was stuck in my room.
Yeah.
I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything for 6 weeks. So till the moment, I remember the first time I stepped down the stairs to go down to my kitchen and get that cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And ever since, I've never taken that
For granted.
granted.
It's funny how it takes a moment like that to realize that, right? And I think the goal of the Nancy perspective is to bring light to that now before you have those moments. I think there's a huge opportunity in energy. There's a huge opportunity in the present moment. There's a huge opportunity in finding the little things that bring you joy and doing them and seeing the gratitude in them.
Yep.
And I think that's what's really transformed my life as well, and brought me the abundance that is already in front of all of us. Wouldn't you agree? It's already there in front of all of us.
Yeah.
But we close it off.
We always, I think this is the human nature. We always look for the missing part.
Yeah. And yet the missing part might be missing because it was never meant to be our true purpose anyway.
Exactly.
Like we ended our last podcast and we're getting close to the end of this one too, with the fact that you need to live true to yourself. And I believe that those moments where we walk in a room and we feel energy less is not our room.
No, don't ever buy in to fit in.
Yeah. I think the other thing is when we do small things to bring us joy, that's what we need. But I think we need to accept that not everyone, not everything is going to love us, and maybe that's just not part of our path,
That's totally fine, and that's okay.
right? And that's part of the journey of it all. But finding the little things is what matters most, right? We're at the end again, which is insane. I know. She's like, we're done. It's so good. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
There's one thing you want to leave us with now. What would that be?
I would say always just be yourself.
Yeah. It's a big, big piece. And if you don't know where yourself is, how do you get yourself to even open it again? How do you do that? Do you know?
I honestly would just just sit, listen to your heart.
Yeah.
Listen to your surroundings.
Yeah. I love that. Go out in nature.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Stay grounded.
Yeah. That is the word.
Know your worth, but don't be cocky.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you say know your worth, but don't be cocky?
Yes.
Very important thing.
Yes.
Extremely.
I've learned it
I need
the
you
hard
all
way.
to hear that. Know your worth, but don't be cocky.
Yeah, I've
Huge.
I've learned it the hard way.
Well, I've had me too. Haven't we all?
Yeah, but yeah, for me it's like my upbringing is like don't talk much about yourself. It's like stay humble.
Yep.
But it's not always taken in a positive way from the other side. So every now and then you need to.
Well, it's every now and then you need to check yourself. But again, I think there's another piece to be said for that. And that could be a whole other podcast is, when you show up as a confident human and you know who you are and you know who you aren't, you trigger those who don't.
But that's okay.
And that's what I mean.
You have to be okay with that.
So if you walk away and they label you as an ego or they label you with a different thing, important to acknowledge, but important still to remain who you are.
Yeah, but there's a really fine line,
which I haven't. Yes, I agree.
Super ego and Kaya and knowing what exactly you're worth.
And again, you said it. There's a line, and you must be aware of it.
Yes, yeah.
There's a lot of people that aren't aware of it, which is the whole on these podcasts. Yes, because it is right, and I think as powerful humans, we have to play very well in that fine line.
Yep.
But you fuck that up by not playing sometimes. But that's okay too, right?
We learn.
We have to. There is no other way forward for that. Learning is a part of becoming who we are and figuring it out. And I think it's a daily thing versus what I thought for at one point was like, oh, I'm there. Oh, I'm there. Turns out there is every day a different version.
It's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
We are in process.
We are in process, full of love, light, and energy. And with that said, we end part 2 of this incredible journey with your soul.
Thank you.
I'm so blessed that you said yes. I hope you see the reason why now you said yes.
Starting to.
Yeah. And I look forward to doing this again, or I look forward to us exploring more of our energy opportunities together, because I think we got a lot to chat about, maybe outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
Not that we want you to not hear everything, but it's important that you don't hear everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to my listeners today. I wish you a wonderful day.